Out there tonight. It's a nice night. We've got a cool breeze. I think summer is finally coming to an end, which is great when you're here in Southwest Florida. Happy fall time, y'all. You guys ready to laugh? You guys want to hear some jokes? All right. Give it up for our first comedian. Please give him a nice warm round of applause. Put your hands together, welcoming Uncle Rocky.
Hey, put the water. I got two twins sitting right there.
So far away.
So, I've been married for 40 years to Pixie. I do this because it's the only place where I could actually get a word in edgewise. We're both Italian. We talk with our hands a lot. You'll see me moving my hands a lot. Well, Pixie broke her wrist last summer and she developed a speech impediment. She just stood there. You know, maturing in marriage is accepting the fact that your wife can't remember where she left her glasses, typically on top of her head, but she can remember something I said 39 years ago on a Monday night at 8:56 p.m. She's like a fresh cannoli, my Pixie. She smells great. She tastes delicious. But like too many cannolis, she's killing me slowly. I find that after 40 years of marriage that there's 4 stages. The first is that newlywed stage. A lot of playful banter, sexual innuendo. You wear out a mattress the first year you're married. It's great. The second is happy. You know, the sex is good and the sex is frequent, but what do you get? The goddamn kids knocking at the door. Hey, we hear mommy screaming Yahtzee. We want in, we want to play. The third stage is amused. You're feeling amorous. You run up to the bedroom. You rip your clothes off and you just look at each other and crack up because gravity's a bitch. And finally, there's that tolerance stage. All that playful banter of your youth is turned into bitter bickering. You still have sex. I like to call it hallway sex. You just walk by each other and go, fuck you. So, menopause is an interesting time for us. I like to refer to it as the thermostat wars. I asked Pixie what it felt like, and she said, well, I feel like I'm burning up from the inside out. I said, oh, I get it. It's like when I eat a very spicy Italian meal. I woke up a half hour later and she was standing over me holding a frying pan. We're in bed one night and I hear bzzz, bzzz. I turn around all excited and she's got the little fan from the nightstand cooling herself off. I had something else in mind completely. You know, the emotional up and down with menopause is pretty significant. We're sitting watching TV one night and a commercial comes on for Kraft macaroni and cheese. And she bursts into tears. I don't understand what's going on. She goes, could you believe they're doing that with fucking pasta? I'm Italian. I don't have to put up with this shit. You know, menopause is basically Mother Nature's way of telling an Italian woman that she's going to be dealing with facial hair for the rest of her life. My grandmother at 90 years old had such a luxurious beard, she was asked to front for ZZ Top. At age 67 now, I walk into the bathroom, I'm standing in front of the bowl, and it literally takes me longer to start peeing than it does to actually pee. And when I do, it's sort of like this series of dots and dashes. It's like urinary Morse code. Ships at sea have started sending responses to me. You know, I knew I was old when my balls got longer than the CVS receipts. Thank you. There's 4 rules to aging. 1, you never pass a bathroom. 2, you never waste an erection. 3, you never get on the floor without a specific plan to get back up. And 4, and most importantly, never trust a fart. True, right? So, you know, the pharmaceutical companies have these really fancy ads, right? They're very glossy, and typically they're playing a classic rock song in the background or a classic disco song. Then they get into the side effects. I'm no chemist, so I don't really get the science behind it, but I don't understand how one drug can cause both diarrhea and constipation. The other part that freaks me out is the swelling between your anus and your genitals. You know that chin rest spot? You can get swelling there, and silly me, I thought it was just because I ate a bag of donuts every day. So I got a couple of jokey jokes you might like. So I was trying to make a little extra money. I decided I'm going to drive Uber. I go to Sarasota, I have a pickup, and it's a nun. Sister gets in the car, and I'm staring at Sister in the rear view. Sister's looking up at me. And she said, well, why you keep staring at me? I said, well, Sister, I'm a little bit twisted. As a Catholic school boy, I've always had a fantasy about making out with a nun. Sister says, well, if you're single and you're Catholic, I'll make out with you. So we pull over, I'm making out with Sister. I get back in the front of the car, I drive away. And I'm looking at Sister, and she goes, what's wrong, my son? I said, well, Sister, I have to tell you, I'm actually married and I'm Jewish. Sister replies, it's okay, sweetie, my name is Kevin, and I'm on my way to a Halloween party. I got one more for you. You can tell I'm from New York, right? This isn't a southern accent. So we're up in New York last week, and my little nephew wanted to go for ice cream. So we get in the car, we're driving, and if you know anything about New York, inevitably, as you're driving, you end up behind a garbage truck. So we're behind the garbage truck hits a giant pothole, garbage comes flying out, and this giant dildo smashes into the windshield. I don't want to have an embarrassing conversation with the kid, so I just said, Matt, don't worry about it. It's just a bug. He looks me dead in the eye and he says, Uncle Rocky, how does a bug fly with a dick that big? Some of you may get that going home. All right, that's my time. I'm Uncle Rocky. Corey, how about a nice hand for Corey? Playing his ass off on that guitar. Making drum sounds and everything. Thanks, Corey.